appreciate you.
Chief, mate, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
It's time!
Welcome back to another episode of Software Explorations. If you do not know who I am your host of the show and of the channel, Tech Coach Ralph, where we are engineered to win. Yes, engineered to win. That is my main focus. I want to win and I want to see you win. And the way that we have to do that is engineering everything that we do to success. So if that's what you're into and that's what you want to accomplish with me, then you are in the right place and we will go on a journey together where we will learn a lot. If you tuned in last Thursday night, it was a crazy show. We did so much. We went and we automated in three different, well, maybe really two, but we started setting up three different automation tools on our good friend Calculus Coder site. And gotta get my hat right. Oh, geez. All right. That's better. So we did it on three different tools. We are going through freemindrecovery.com. It is the startup that my friend Jared at Calculus Coder has built. So I would highly recommend that you guys go and check it out. Check out the application, sign up, and get some good and useful tools that he's put together. Really cool stuff. But let's stop for a second here, right? There is one flaw, right? There's no testing involved. So we have to help him out, right? We have to help him out and get some testing on the site. And we have to be very good. You know what? I take that back. Not good. We have to be great QA engineers, right? So many people I come across, they want to get experience and everything like that, but they don't know where to start. Well, this is a good place to start. We have Jared who has built an application, but he's not too familiar with the testing like most people aren't, as well as most developers aren't, right? So here comes us, QA engineers, to the rescue to give recommendations on how to properly format the website for testing and for automating the site, recommending different types of unit tests and everything like that. We are going to do our job so that we can make sure that the product is successful. So if you want to build experience, go ahead and find you somebody who's doing a startup, right? And build some experience that way. All right. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. right? Let's get into our agenda like we always do. I get so excited sometimes and I just want to go, go, go. But no, we have to get into our agenda. We have to follow the rules and follow the order that has been set, because without order, there is chaos. However, when there is chaos, that's when QA engineers thrive. All right. So let's get into our agenda. Okay. First and foremost, I want to say a big thank you to all of the newest subscribers, and not only the newest ones, right? And to the ones who have been with me since day one. You know how I feel about you guys, right? You know that.
I appreciate you.
I really do appreciate you. So thank you so much for rocking with me, and for the newest subscribers. I just hope that I am adding value into your lives. You know, you're always welcome to drop me, to interact with me in the chat. Drop me a comment on any video, and I will be sure to respond to your comments. You guys are amazing. So I do truly, truly appreciate you. And I always have to do this, right? I want to salute the standing tech barbarians, right? They are working tirelessly to build up their skills, and not only their skills in a particular set, right? So it's not like, oh, we're only focusing on things that are related to QA or related to UX UI. No, we're building our work experience, right? And they're learning about Agile, they're learning about how to use Jira, they're learning about how to properly use GitHub, all these different tools that you need in the workplace that you do not get when you're just going through a Udemy course or a Coursera or a boot camp. It's insufficient, right? So that's why I use what they teach you in these programs, but then I also come in and I provide the experience that you need so that you can start adding value at your company. Not even on day one, during the interview, you can start adding value, so you can show the things that you bring to the table, the things that you bring to this company, and how you're going to help that company win. So that is my strategy, and that is what my tech barbarians are doing every single day. So I just want to say a big salute and shout out to my tech barbarians. And to my tech barbarians, and to all of my Patreon members, I will be going live, a private live stream on Sunday for Patreon exclusive, where I will be adding my current role to my resume, so you can see how that goes, and you can ask me questions in the chat. You can come up on the stream if you want to talk to me one-on-one. It'll be also a Q&A session, so that is going to be for my Patreon members, just letting you know. So if you are interested in participating in that, and maybe one-on-one coaching, all the exclusive content that is in the Patreon, then you can go to www.techcoachralph.dev and sign up there. So that is totally up to you. But if you want some more additional value, then that's the thing to do. All right. So next up, if you are new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you can know every time that we go live. Like the video, share the video, leave me a comment, interact with me in the chat, all of that. So I really appreciate it. And I hope to, like I said, all I want to do is add more and more value into your life. All right. So let's get into our live show schedule. So first and foremost, we have our morning shows, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7:15 a.m. It is called Coffee and Kata, where we start out, we have our cup of coffee, we review some news articles, and then we jump into our coding challenges. So that is what we do. Tomorrow is going to be a Code Wars coding challenge. We've done that for the past 2 Fridays, and I think we're going to keep doing that for the foreseeable future. Mondays and Wednesdays, we are implementing, we're testing AI, right? We're testing OpenAI to make sure that it's interacting correctly. And we're using the API for OpenAI. So if you're not familiar with API testing, that is definitely the place to be. We're using BDD in Python with the library of Behave, the Python package Behave. So definitely, if you are interested in any of those things, go ahead and tune in. All right, I have some people in Europe, in the UK, that it is a good opportunity to tune in to learn from that as well. Interact with me in the chat. So something for everyone. All right. So with that being said, that is our morning shows, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 7:15 a.m. Eastern time. And then we have on Sunday afternoons, software explorations. We are going through Terraform. We are going to be continuing through Terraform this coming Sunday to configuring the code pipeline and the Amazon Certificate Manager. So that is the goal. And then I doubt we'll have time for that, but if we do, we'll start the transition to a different provider. So we'll see about that, right? I'm not 100% sure yet, but that's the goal for Sunday. We're going to be working on Terraform. Tuesday nights, we have our Q&A session. We had a wonderful Q&A session this past Tuesday night with our good friend Socks at Free Range Socks. So go ahead and subscribe to his channel. But we're answering your questions, and we're demoing Socks University. I'll talk about this a little bit later in the announcements, but we are looking for some beta testers for Socks University. So we'll get into that. And then Thursday nights, we have software explorations. We're currently focusing that on QA. As you see in the show title, we're going to be working on automation tools, Selenium, Playwright, Cypress, getting that all configured on our good friend Free Mind Recovery by Calculus Coder. So many things. That's why I tell you, so many things going on. You might not be interested in one, but you might be interested in the other. That's why I say subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. You see when we go live, and we can figure that out, right? So next up on the docket, right? Our pre-recorded content, right? So Mondays we have candid conversations. This past Monday we were talking about how you right there, I'm talking to you, yes. You need to treat your life as the business that it is, right? So just go check that out, right? That one is super, super important. It's getting a lot of views. People really appreciate it, and I hope that it can help you. You can't just go out there and wing it, You have to have order. You have to turn the chaos into order, and that's what I'm trying to help you do, giving you some strategies. We'll go deeper about how to implement those strategies in the Patreon, but that's the goal, all right? And then we have Wednesdays, software explorations, concepts and overviews. Yesterday, we released talking about parallel testing for these 3 different automation tools that we're going to be going over tonight. So go ahead and check that out. And then Fridays, we have the bug bite. Tomorrow's episode, we're going to be asking the question, did Tesla lie, right? What? Yes. Did Tesla lie? That's what we want to find out, all right? So we'll find out in tomorrow's episode. So tune in for that. And then throughout the week, you've seen we've released a lot of content this week for Cybersecurity Week. But, we released a clip from our Q&A shows throughout the week to give you bite-sized pieces so that can help you level up, all right? So definitely check that out. That is our live show and our pre-recorded show schedule. All right. So like I was mentioning, right? And I see him in the Socks is here. You're supposed to be sleeping, Socks, because I know you are super tired from working and driving back and forth and everything like that. But here he is. All right. So next up, we are looking for some beta testers for Socks University, right? So if you're interested in cybersecurity, if you're interested in QA, why don't you come in and do some beta testing for Socks University? You will get 30 days free access. And that means you get access to the course material, and you get access to the virtual environment, which it's not virtual. It's virtual to you, but it is a real server, a real location that Socks owns, right? And you get to go and you do the modules and you start learning cybersecurity, right? On us. 30 days free. All we ask you is to help us beta test, give us some feedback, things that are that are hard to understand, things that you like about it, things that didn't work, things that worked great, just some feedback. So if you're interested, email socks@ephemeralnetworks.com with beta tester in the subject line. All right. And if you can, put in the where you heard about the beta testing, like was it from my channel? Was it from his channel? Was it somewhere else? Just let us know, and we will get you set up within the next 2 weeks so we can get this started. All right. So once again, if you are interested in cybersecurity and or QA, go ahead and send Socks an email at socks@ephemeralnetworks.com. The link is in the chat, and I will make sure it is in the description at the end of the video. So that's the deal. All right. Next up, Chaos Camp challenges. Go ahead and check them out. The GitHub repo is github.com/chaos-camp. Is it? Let me see. Let me make sure. GitHub.com. Yep, chaos-camp, right? You're interested in QA, you want to get better, but the projects that you do, quite frankly, they kind of suck, right? They don't add any value. But with the Chaos Camp challenges, those are real life scenarios that my good friend Don has come up with, and it's your job to solve it, right? So go ahead and give it a look, pick a challenge, and let's get to work, all right? And then fork the branch, open up a PR, and ask us to do a code review, and we'll do a live code review on air, giving feedback, leaving commentary, so you can see how we use GitHub as well, and putting comments, giving feedback, things that you're going to need to learn to do on the job. So everything that I do here is structured to help you grow in your career, so you can have like actual on the job training. If it doesn't add value, then I don't even worry about it, right? So that is where we're at, okay? So shout out to all of that. And before we go on, I just want to say hi to some people in the chat. Hello, B Peace. How are you? Happy to have you here as always. And we have my brother Socks in the chat. Welcome to the show. Hopefully you get some rest. All right, next up, we are going to, so as we transition into the show more, I want to give you the sixth principle of the Agile Manifesto, right? And that principle is the most efficient and effective method of conveying information to and within a development team is a face-to-face conversation, right? Shout out to that. And why is a face-to-face conversation important? So I'll give you a quick little story, and it's not related to work, right? It's related to YouTube comments, right? So the other day, I got a comment saying that on one of the videos that it was like the information is good, but the sound effects are like unnecessary, right? That was a comment. And I was like, okay, cool. And I told the person like, thank you for supporting, but if you need like something that doesn't have the sound effects, because it was from a clip from the Q&A show, and the Q&A show, we have a lot of fun, we have the lights going, and we have the sounds, and we're just having a good time. It's just a relaxing Tuesday night, but still answering your questions, providing value, right? But I told the person like, this is the show. This is like having fun. If you need something that's a little bit more to the point, then and not as not exciting, but vibrant. I'm like, go check out my good friend, the testing lead, because like his content like straight to the point. There's no like extra fluff and stuff like that, but the way that and the person said, oh, I didn't mean to be rude and everything like that. Like it was just constructive criticism. And I responded like, oh, like, trust me, I didn't take it as any way. I'm just like I send people his way. He sends people my way based on like your personality type. Cause we don't want to have everybody with the same exact personality. So if you need like a more quiet and direct type of thing, then he might be your person. If you want to have some fun, like, because the way that I am here, that's how I work. Like when I'm working and something good happens, I put on some sound effects, right? I have my lights going at times, it's just so. But the reason that I'm sharing that story is because things get lost in the text, right? So having that conversation, you can better convey. And now when you're working on a team and stuff that can be highly, highly technical, it's so much easier to have that face-to-face conversation. And then you can document what are the outcomes of that instead of like, document all the things that you want, and then now you're just sending a bunch of emails back and forth, and so many things get lost. You don't understand. You misinterpret, and just things become a mess, right? So that's why the most efficient and effective method of conveying information to and within a development team is face-to-face conversations, because you reduce the risk of misunderstanding. As soon as you don't understand something, you raise your hand and say, "Hey, what does this mean?" Right? I'll be in meetings all the time, and things I don't understand, I just, hey, like, can you explain this to me? Can you this and that? And boom, we're good to go, right? So that's why this is such an important principle of the Agile Manifesto, right? So I'm going to read it one more time, right? And I don't see, I don't know if it's, see if I can post it in the chat as well, right? But I'm going to read it one more time. Yeah, it fits. So one more time. The most efficient and effective method of conveying information to and within a development team is face-to-face conversations. And that is why we have our stand-ups on a daily basis, so that we can share what are we working on, what we did yesterday, what we're going to do today, if we have any obstacles, if we need anybody to unblock us. So keep that in mind. Apply it to your life, your personal life, your work life, everything, because it is just going to make you that much more efficient and that much more on the pathway to winning. All right. So there it goes. That's the sixth principle of the Agile Manifesto. All right. So just wanted to share that with you. You know, we like to get started like that. And let me see. Now let's keep going. All right. So, we'll do that on Sunday. So on Sunday, we'll get a quote from one of the books, either Clean Code or Clean Coder. But this is the next thing I wanted to share with you, right? I come across a lot of people who are trying to build experience with whatever it might be, right? But let's take the terminal, for instance, right? Let's say they're trying to get into Linux or cloud engineering or something like that, right? And they're always like, okay, how can I build experience with the terminal? And the terminal, there's like pretty much everything has a command line interface to it, right? So, but yesterday, I was saying, like, you know what? I need to build a like one of those link trees, right? And I have one, but like the free one that they give you is so limited. So I said, you know what? I wonder if there is an open source version of a link tree, right? And I found one. It was called LinkStack. So I said, you know, let me install that. So I said, okay, let me read the instructions. Yeah, it's called LinkStack. So I said, let me read the instructions, and let me set up a subdomain on my host. It's connect.techcoachralph.dev, and we're gonna take a look at it in a second, right? But so I set that up, and I was about to, like, in order to install it, I would have to unzip the files and then FTP it up. And I said to myself, you know what? This would be a good opportunity to get a little bit better with Linux. So what I did was I SSH'd into the hosting company, into the what I set up, and then I copied the files from my local computer that I downloaded, the zip file, and then I uploaded it to the server, but through a Linux command, right? Through a terminal command. And then I logged into the box, right? And then I unzipped it from there. And then I configured it, right? And I had to like troubleshoot because I wanted it to be on the root directory, and the way that it was unzipping, it was a mess, right? But finding the commands that I needed to use, like just by Googling it, like saying, okay, this is what I want to how to move how to move it here. And then after I figured it out, I'm like, okay, now I want it to be in the root directory, and I had to get creative in order to move it to the root directory, right? But I eventually got it, and I was able to, and then I had to set up my SQL in order for a database for it, did all of that, right? And then like, so late yesterday, I got it running, right? And it was really cool. And this morning, I was like, you know, and this is who inspired me to do it. The Josh from Keep It Techie, because he does a bunch of videos where he's going through the terminal and everything like that. And I was like, oh yeah, you know what? This would be a good opportunity. And so like, thanks to Keep It Techie, definitely subscribe to his channel, right? But thanks to him, I was like, oh, let me just get some quick command line experience, right? Some quick terminal experience, and it worked perfectly to the point like that I was able to upload the file, unzip it, do some commands to move some files around, and just some quick, easy ways to build some experience, right? And with that being said, let's take a quick look at what we came up with, right? So this is it, right? It's so Tech Coach Ralph, a little brief bio, and then links to your different stuff, right? So Level Up, link to the Patreon, link to Minek. I just signed up for that. A minute to connect. So definitely check me out on Minek. And then we have the website. Then we have our social media, the YouTube channel, LinkedIn, Cash App, GitHub, Reddit, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And then if you need to invest your money somewhere, check out Acorns, check out Stash, links to all of that, right? So and this took about maybe 2 or 3 hours to set up, and doing it through the command line, connecting to my hosting company, doing all that, right? Very, very cool. So let me just drop this link in the chat as well, in case you are interested in checking it out and connecting with me. It's just connect.techcoachralph.dev. All right. Did I put it in? Let me drop it in here. Boom, there we go, right? So yeah, like I just wanted to share that with you. Like it's not about the link, it's about how you can build experience. And just like little things that you can do to build experience. And it's like now I have another project that's up, that it's live, that I can share with people, and that it's going to help me in many different ways, right? Getting some Linux experience, getting people to connect with me, whether it's through Minek or whether it's through Patreon, whatever the case may be, right? So just those little things, just those little tactics goes a very, very long way, all right? So just wanted to share that with you as well. And our last thing before we get into our automation section, right? I cannot stress this enough, right? I cannot stress this enough. You must value your time, because if you don't value your time, nobody else will, right? I'm going to say it again. If you do not value your time, nobody else will. Respect your time and do not allow anyone to disrespect your time. It's the only thing that you cannot get back. And part of the reason I'm saying this, right? Because helping people, it's not in your best interest, right? I take that back. I take that back. Helping people for free is not in your best interest, because at any given moment, you can invest hours and hours and hours, right? And then they're gone, and now those hours that you invested are totally wasted. So if you are an expert in something, and that's one of the reasons I like this app that Patrick Bet-David and his team over there have created called Minek, because it's a minute to connect. If somebody wants your time, they got to pay for it, right? How does my boy say it? How does my boy say it?
One more thing. Price of the brick going up.
The price of the brick is going up. You need to value your time, right? Because, like I said, people will not value it. So make sure that you are you're putting yourself in the best position, that you're using your time wisely, that everything that you do is going to benefit you. And if people want to learn from you, or they want to they need you, right? Make sure that that you're getting value out of it as well, because when you just continue to help and people don't appreciate it, they're just going to stomp all over you. So, and that's why, like, I find myself using more and more the time cost calculator that I put together, right? I got the formula from Anton Daniels, right? Check him out at antondaniels.com. But I got the formula from him, and then I built it into this little calculator application, right? So if we go and we take a look at here, this is the calculator, right? Very basic, but you put in your total annual income, right? So let's say you're making $60K a year, right? That means an hour of your time, $6.83. It's not divided by 40 hours a week that you're working. It's the total amount that you make all year, and you divide it by 8,760, right? The total amount of hours in a year. And that shows you every hour that you waste, that you're wasting, that is $6.83 that you're wasting, right? The more you go up in pay scale, the more money you waste. Or if you're making $200,000 a year, you're wasting $22 an hour every time you don't do you're not doing anything productive, right? So keep that in mind. So let's say, right? And I have it calculated down to the second because I want to know. I want all the metrics so that I can make the best decision, right? Because if somebody is going to be wasting your time, right? I would rather spend that wasted time on something that's not wasted, like either working, creating content, or spending time with the family, right? And some people say, oh, but you can't put a value on something. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. If I'm making $200,000 a year, right? And I want to go to movies in the park with my family, I'm gonna put my $200,000 here, and I'm gonna put 2.5 hours at movies in the park, and it cost me $56.92. Now the question is $56.92 worth it? Can I afford that to go spend some time with the family? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is going to be yes. But there might be that one time that there might be something a little bit more important to do that I might say, you know what, family, we're gonna have to put this on hold. We're going to circle back and do it after we can take care of business, right? This doesn't tell you what to do. It helps you. It just gives you all the metrics, right? And then you make your decision from there, right? And that's why, and I find myself using this more and more and more to say, okay, is this in my best interest to do this or that, right? And if that's not the case, then I'm like, all right, sorry, we're not doing it, right? So I'm going to put this in the chat as well, right? Because I find this very, very important. So we're going to go to here. And this is what I mean by like a lot of people they'll do little project. To me, this is not a project. This is an application, right? This is an application. Have it under my company, right? And I'm building it out, adding more features. That's going to be going forward. Keep adding more features so that I have things under my belt as actual applications that I make it available to the public, good, bad, or indifferent. Get some feedback and everything like that, and we go from there. I have like if you try it out, right? There's a leave feedback link in the bottom, and let me know what you think, right? Let me know what you think. I'll be more than happy to hear from you, and we can go from there. Like I'm even asking, like, what additional features would you find valuable? So definitely check it out and let me know what you think. And but so many things that like the things that I create are things that are for productivity, right? They're for productive. Oh, let me show you the feedback, right? If you go to down here in the footer, there's a leave feedback link, which I have to go ahead and add the connect link to it. But leave feedback. And it's going to take you to this little form right here, and you can leave me some feedback. Just 2 questions, right? What are your thoughts, and are there any additional features, right, that you would like? So just showing you how everything comes together, right? The way that the way that you treat your life as a business, the way that you approach how you value your time, and the tools that you can use to help you value your time and see, is this worth it? Is it not? How can I keep growing, and how can I keep winning? How can I engineer my life to win? That is my focus. That is what I want for you. All right. So that being said, that is our introduction. Kind of a long introduction, but that's our introduction for the show. All right. We are going to get to work. So before we go any further and we get into our show, I want to ask you a favor. So definitely check out the Patreon at www.techcoachralph.dev, right? Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time we go live. Like the video, share the video. If you're interested in becoming a beta user for Socks University, go ahead and send an email to socks@ephemeralnetworks. Oh my goodness. go ahead and send an email to socks@ephemeralnetworks.com with beta tester in the subject line. All right. And we will get you all set up. That is our initiative for the next coming month to get Socks University live to everyone. And we would love to have you on board to help us out with that. And that's why we're giving you 30 days of free access so that you can use the tools. You can let us know if anything is too difficult and everything like that. And we'll get you all squared away. All right. So go ahead and email socks@ephemeralnetworks.com with beta tester in the subject line. Okay. So with that being said, we are ready to get started, right? We are ready to get started. So before we go on any further, this is the question. Not a question, but this is what we need.
Please offer me your energy. I ask of you, please.
All right. We got our energy. Got my cup right here. All right. So where did we leave off? Right. Let's put our timer up on the clock. So last time we set up Playwright and Selenium. We're able to automate to get to the registration page. We had a little bit of issues in Cypress. I tried Cypress out today and it just magically worked with no changes. So we're just going to accept that. Hopefully when I show it again, it should still work because it's still up here, right? So the first thing we're going to do is that we are going to add clicking on the registration page to Cypress. And then we're going to make sure that it works in Cypress. And then we're going to go from there, right? But I have a question for you though, right? And I'm going to put it in the chat, a poll in the chat, right? The question is, as a QA engineer, right? Would I be, or as a QA engineer, right? But I don't have any experience yet, right? Would I be able to put this testing this application for freemindrecovery.com on my resume? I want to know what you think, right? So let's put it in here. So the question is, can I put my QA and testing efforts for freemindrecovery.com on my resume? I want to see what you guys think about that. And I'll have it throughout the night. I'll be checking in on it throughout the night. But I'm just curious. And at the end of the night, right, if you remind me, I will share my answer. Right? I'll share what I think, right? But I want to know from you if you think that you can put you testing free mind recovery on your resume. Okay. So just let me know. And I'll keep the poll open for the night. Okay. So that's the first question. Now let's get caught up in Cypress, right? So let's do that. Okay, so let's go to our Cypress screen. So let me start the timer, right?
It's time to do.
All right, so this is Cypress. Let me check this real quick. Okay, so this is Cypress, right? So last time, where's the Cypress test? Okay, there it goes. So last time, because it wasn't working, all we did was get to, we just had it go to the homepage, but we couldn't get anywhere because it wasn't working, right? So this is, but now it's able to get to the homepage, right? If we scroll down, we'll see the content of the website and everything. If we go to this page, let me use this. If we go to this page, or not this page, but if we go to WebStorm, we have it's just going to it's just visiting freemindrecovery.com, right? Exactly what we want, but we want to navigate to the registration page, just like we have in Playwright, and just like we have in we don't need this right now, just like we have in Selenium. Okay, so we are going to we can just copy this XPath, And now we're going to have to add that to Cypress. So sci.click and oh, we need to do we need to see how to do that in Cypress actually. Let me see. Let's find out how to do that in Cypress. Because I got ahead of myself thinking that I'm a Cypress expert. Not at all. So let's see. Cypress.io. And let's go to here. And we need, I was reading that. Let's go to documentation. Writing your first test should do it. And let's see. We just need a click. Where is end testing, I guess? Writing your first and testing. Let's try that one. I just need like a list of the, I just need a list. Let's see. It looks the same. Let's search for click. Now click. No. Nope. Only two. So this is not it. Oh my goodness. The API action. There we go. Actions. Click. Okay, there we go. So we want. So it's gonna be get.click. Okay, that's what it was. You see, like it's all different. Well, actually no, it's not that different because it's a similar concept to get, and I want the XPath. How do I find XPath? So we want so it's not all right. So we want hello. Okay, anyways, we want get, not click. Queries, I think. Get. And we want, let's see if they have an XPath in here. All right, so we're just gonna Cypress XPath. Add XPath commands to Cypress test runner. Really? Can use XPath in Cypress. So Cypress has an official plugin for if you install. Okay, so we have. Oh my goodness, you have to install XPath to get this. Okay, so package no longer supported. Hold on. Let's see. Jeez. We're gonna have to rewrite this selector. All right, let's just rewrite it. Let's go to free mind recovery. I don't like that. It's I have a hard time believing Cypress doesn't have XPath. So account. Oh yeah, we need to click on account as well. And this is the part that I'm referring to. Like, we need to make the website easily testable by CSS selectors. We shouldn't have to be using XPath on the website. Let's see. And this is the thing that it's so important to teach in the boot camps, right? Especially for like a front end development boot camp. Whether it is because they didn't even teach it when I did the Udemy course for full stack development. They didn't even teach this, right? But adding like making your website testable, that is super, super important. And I think that is lacking in I think that's lacking, you know, in these schools and these online courses. So something to consider. Like I would do some research on like how do I test what I'm learning. You know, like how do I write unit tests using Node and Express, like Mocha, Jest, things, Chai, things like that. So it's gonna be tough. Let's see. You can't put text. Let's keep. I'm gonna install this anyways. All right. So let's do. I'm gonna stop this, and I'm going to do npm install -d at Cypress -xpath, and I'm doing that. I don't know why this isn't switching, but I'm doing that over here. So it's installed. And then include in your project's support file. Project support file. Let's see what that is. So Cypress support commands. I don't think it's this one. Maybe it's this one. Let's leave that maybe. Or is there commands one? Let's go with that. Okay. So we have that in there. And now to use it, we need to okay. To use it, we need to close that. Can close that. We need to do sci.x path. Is that gonna work? XPath type does not exist. I don't know if that's gonna work, but let's find out. And let's go here, copy that, paste that. I think we can get rid of this XPath over here. And then register dot click. I don't know if that's gonna work. It should, because we installed it. Let me see. In your project's support file. I don't know. Let's no. Let's see. And that's and that's why it's so important to have the websites, like the applications, be testable, because then you end up like going down these rabbit holes to you end up going down these rabbit holes because you're trying to get it to work, but it would be better if you were to get it in like the way that it should be, you know what I mean? Instead of like trying to patch it together. Okay, so we have it end to end. Require Cypress. Let's see. might not work. Okay. That's so strange. I mean, look at this one. Import commands require Cypress. And require let's see. Oh, wait a second. I might have did something not right. Let's see if we go here. Nope, no XPath. All right, let's do it the old-fashioned way. Why don't we? Okay. Let's see. So let's look at the site. I don't like this, but I blame Cypress for this. Like, XPath is a valid option to have. Let me see. Cypress use XPath. Now, let's see if there's another way before we go off the rails. Find element. Nope. See, that's deprecated. I think it's possible by adding. No. Yep, that is a thumbs down in my book for Cypress. Oh, wait a second. If you're using TypeScript, add one file inside. Add import. If you're using TypeScript. So let's do that in the types. That might be it. ts.json config. And we are doing under types. I'm over here right now. Cypress.xpath and ts.json. Add import. If you're using TypeScript, add one file inside the Cypress support. Let's see. And now, if we go back to here, still not finding it. And import. Do import here. Yeah, I think this is diminishing returns. Like, one, we shouldn't have to fight for XPath because I don't even like XPath. I shouldn't have to fight for it that much. Two, I'm just gonna do until we get like the testing updated better. I'm just gonna do like something that I really don't like to do, but we're gonna have to do what we have to do in order to save time. Because as QA engineers, we have to be efficient with our time because we not only do we have to automate, we also have to make sure that things are working as they should. So we can't spend like forever trying to figure out some type of automation. So what we're going to do, we're going to use some dirty some dirty CSS selectors, right? So for the registration, we're going to do, it's going to be href. And if this structure was to change by any chance, then it wouldn't work anymore. So, and that's why we like to test data IDs, you know, which we are going to make those recommendations. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go to here and we're going to say, we're just going to do what we should have did in the first place. Side.get, and then we're going to go here, do like that. And we're going to go here and we're going to say click, right? But we still have to do the clicking on the account, right? So let's find the selector for that. Let's see. Because we can't use XPath for that. So let's say we do div.relative. Or, oh, that's not on this side. It's supposed to be over here. Div.relative. And there's 3 of those, but this is here, here. Okay, so the second one. And shoot, it'd be almost impossible to do. Okay, I know what to do. Oh, this is kind of ghetto, but you know, we gotta make lemon out of lemonade. So we're gonna do the href, and we're going to take the one for support. And like, please don't ever do this, right? This is just so we can move this along. But you should never ever do this, right? And then we're gonna go to we're gonna see the adjacent one, right? And that becomes this, and then we're gonna say div, right? Very dirty CSS selectors, but it's gonna work for now. And then what we're gonna do, we are going to implore Calculus Coder to make the site a little bit more testable, and then we'll clean that up and then we'll clean our code up, and then we'll all be happy and live a wonderful and prosperous life, because life is better when you have clean tests. All right. So here we are. We have this, and we're going to do npx. Let me undo that so you can see what I did. Right. All right. So we have. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna do side.get, and we're gonna do paste the CSS selector, and then we're gonna do dot click. And so this one goes ahead of this one, and this one goes here. And I'm just gonna add some comments right now, just because we don't have we haven't implemented the page object model yet. So I'm just gonna say
Lunch break! Lunch break!
I'm just gonna say, before we go to break, we're gonna say click on the account tab in the navigation. And once we have a better structure for our page object model and stuff, then we're going to have the methods be our comments, right? So this one is click on the link in the account tab sub navigation. All right. So let's go ahead and run this in Cypress before we go to break, and we'll go from there. All right. npx Cypress open, and we are out. Okay. So here we go. It's opening up. End-to-end testing. Start in Chrome. Okay, we have some type of issue happening here. Hold on. Let's force close. Let's force close that. That's what those application not responding errors were earlier. Okay, so let's bring this down. And let's close any straggler instances of Cypress. All right, now let's kick it off again. And we'll go into N, and let's start here. Should pop up. All right, it's on this screen. So let's switch screens. Okay, so now let's see what happened. Click on this one. Soon as it lets me. Okay. Let's see what happened. So it goes here. Oh, you know what? Because it is, oh my goodness. I don't know if it's going to work because it's in a different view. So that's a bit annoying. So I guess we need to search for how to set the size in Cypress. So how to set browser size in Cypress. So the viewport, you can change the viewport height and width for the remainder of the test by setting new values for view. So let's see how you do that. Or how do you maximize my screen on Cypress? Let's do viewport. So Cypress viewport width, and so it's into within cypress.config. Let's go here. So is there, okay, there goes this. Okay, so we're gonna go and set these settings over here, Cypress config. And we want export default define config. Implement. So this goes inside of this. So this is going to be viewport width. And what is the width of this monitor? Let's just go with 920 by viewport height 1080. And yeah, so that's it, right? So now let's go back to our implementation. Okay, so if we go back over here, now we're looking way better, right? And it's telling us can only be called on a single element. Your subject contains 2 elements. There must be 2 home registers. So let's take a look at that. Actually, no, let's go to break. See, that's what happens to me, right? I get so into it and I totally forget about break, but I remembered. So that's where we're at. Let's just throw 5 minutes on the clock. And let me check the chat real quick to see how our results are looking for this question of mine. All right. So we have 3 votes at 100% saying yes, you can definitely put it on your resume. So that is interesting. So the question is, right, in the chat, right? Can I put my QA and testing efforts for freemindrecovery.com on my resume? So what I'm doing here, right? So what am I doing here? So my question is, on my resume, can I say that, oh, I was the QA engineer for a startup named Free Mind Recovery, which is a health and mental wellness startup app, right? That I was the QA engineer for it. And what did I do as a QA engineer? I gave recommendations on how to structure the HTML to be conducive for automation. I was testing releases to prevent bugs. I was running automated tests, which is what we're building right now, right? I was working with the developer. I was working closely with the developer on the right unit test for the unit testing, right? So we can reduce the risk of deploying bugs. I built a regression test suite. I did a risk assessment, right? The developer and I had, the developer and I were using we're using agile methodology. Maybe we're using Kanban. Maybe we're using Scrum, depending on how it's set up. But either one that you mentioned is going to be great. Can you say, oh, I found this bug that prevented XYZ from happening, which would have cost the company this amount of dollars, right? Could I put that on my resume, right? Because am I an official employee of Free Mind Recovery? No, I'm not, right? But am I adding value to the application so that they can have a better software? And by me doing that, does that give me the experience that I need to work as a Q engineer in a company setting? That's the question. Am I able to do that? Because if I am, so many people need experience, right? But what are you doing to get that experience? Are you just doing these little side projects here and there that no one ever sees? And quite frankly, if the people who do see it would probably be your family. Oh, that's cool. They have no idea what you're doing, right? But then you show it to me and I'm like, okay, but it's just, at the end of the day, it's just a project. Or are you able to hop on to some type of startup and add value and are you able to use that as resume experience? I don't know. I'm curious to see what you think, right? Let me know what you think. Is that a possibility, right? Is that a possibility? And what else do I have? So something else I wanted to do, right? So we actually did something else I want to do, right? I showed a we'll do this during our break, right? I showed a Chrome extension on Sunday, right, called Environment Marker. And I want to I got Calculus Coder in the chat. He says, sorry, I joined late, stuck in snow. No worries, man. No worries. But you got to come back home to Florida. It is 72 degrees outside right now. Sorry to all my people who are snowed in, but it is 72 degrees outside over here. But happy to have you here. If you want to come up and have a little discussion about what we're talking about and everything, just let me know and I will drop the link for you so we can talk. But until then, I'm going to continue working on the website. But I wanted to show this little cool nifty plugin, right? So and once we finish showing that plugin, then we can get back to work and continue to put this together, right?
Work. Chop, chop, let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work, back to work, back to work.
So I'm gonna go here. on Free Mind Recovery's the website, right? And this little extension here, environment marker, is it lets you know like what you can say what environment that you're in, right? So because at this moment we only have a production environment for Free Mind Recovery, right? We're going to do prod, right? And we're going to add some type of what's a good I think red is a good color for prod, right? I'm going to do FF1234. That's the hex code for red. And I'm going to say add, right? And now it says prod. However, what if I'm doing local development, right? So let's say I'm Calculus Coder and I'm developing my app and everything like that. But I want to differentiate between my environments, right? So I could also do local if I'm on my local environment, and it would use the URL right here. So like localhost 3000 if it's a MERN stack, and then I can put a different color for my local environment, right? So I just found this. I just found this super. Oh, I didn't even see this button. Click here. Click on the following button temporarily. Oh, I didn't even see that. That's pretty cool. You can hide and show it as well, right? So I think this is such a cool and nifty little plugin that I set it up at work as well, and I showed it to some of the developers today, and they were like, "Wow, this is really cool! Like this would be very very helpful." So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you as well to see if you maybe that'll help you, especially if you're a developer or QA, to keep track of your environments that you're in. You get that nice little banner right there, and that lets you know that okay, this is where I'm at, and you know just one less thing that you have to have in mind so you can focus on the work that you're doing, right? So I'm gonna just leave that from at this point, right? It's gonna be prod, and once we get like more environments, then we can set that up, right? So with that being said, let's go back to work. So we were able to let me see, where's my all right, so we had to so okay, now I remember what we're doing. So we are gonna throw up another 20 minutes.
Let's go! Let's go!
All right. We are doing this. Okay, so let's go to the other browser and we're gonna go here. So we need to find out if our code is repeating because he probably has register at some other point in the code. I only have one. Oh, okay, okay. Because if you expand that, then there's gonna be two. Yeah. Okay. So we need to find only one of them. And one of the things I like about Selenium is that it's gonna find it's gonna use the first one instead of like finding all of them. And then with CSS selector, it's not the easiest way to it's not the easiest choose a positional one. Like they have that if thing, but it's kind of crap. All right, if I must say so myself. So what we're gonna do, we are going to, and here's the thing: like if I had to test that ID right here, I mean, if I had to test that ID anywhere, it would have been like really, really easy to get this to work the way that we want it to work. But sometimes you just have to make some lemonade with the lemons. And now we are going to. All right, how can I get this? Okay, let's see. Is there anything in these classes? Oh, let's see. Let's see what I can grab. Mm, goodness. Okay, let's see. Maybe I can do a div? Still not really. Let me see if I do. Okay, here we go. Let's try that. Right. And this is a really temporary code because once calculus coder gets to updating this, we're going to go back and we're going to put the right selectors. So this is not a like just a one night stream project. We're going to be doing this like for the next few weeks because we want to get some good testing on there. And then guess what? Guess what we're gonna do, right? We are going to give this code over to Calculus Coder so he can have some automated tests to be able to test his application before deploying anything new. Yes, we are, and you know, he still definitely needs to add unit tests, but at least this is a start, and this is going to be my gift to him for being such an excellent and wonderful young content creator and engineer who is building an app that is helping tons and tons of people. So that's my gift to him. Happy birthday, Merry Christmas, whatever it is that you celebrate. Happy that holiday, and yeah. So I'll push that up to GitHub, and then you can pull a copy of it, and we'll go from there. You know. So hopefully you enjoy that. All right, let's go to. Let me see. Where are we at? Okay, so this code is gonna work. We're gonna copy this. And we're gonna go to, so we go to our code here. And we are going to drop, we're gonna change this for the updated CSS selector. So now when we go over to, Cypress, and it's running. And you see the viewport here is now set to something. Yeah. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so it's running and it clicks register. And we're at the registration page, right? So all of our applications or all of our tools are getting to the registration page, right? So now we are going to start to automate the registration. We're not going to be able to do Google because we're probably going to have to like do some type of authentication and stuff like that. It's going to be a hot mess. So we're going to just do this one, right? And this is the importance of having a dev environment because I really hate to do this, but I'm gonna have to create some junk users on this, right? But you know, it is what it is. So you know, I'll be working with Calculus Coder as well to set up some dev environments. We'll probably you know whatever infrastructure he's using, we'll figure out how we can get a dev environment. Because we could do I'm pretty sure what we would do is like a subdomain of dev.freemindrecovery.com and put that either behind a VPN or VPC or make that password protected to access it. And then now we have a dev environment that we can test on. It can have its own separate database. You know, and that's how we set up the dev environment so that we can have testing. And then once it works in our dev environment, then we do a release to prod, and now you keep your production environment clean and as bug free as possible. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's automate the registration page. Okay, so let's go to here, and I'll just use my other screen to find out the selectors, right? So let's say we're going to fill out registration form. I'm not gonna put a comment for each one of them because actually I could do it like this, right? Enter full name, enter user name, enter email, OCD, address, enter password. All right, so there we go. And now we're just gonna go down the line. Oh, and then we have a all right, there we go. So we are gonna go up to here, enter full name. So we're gonna do side dot get, and I just leave this as like that for now, and we're gonna say Phil. All right, so we need to let me see. Do we have that's the thing. I'm not familiar with the commands for Cypress to just like go off the top of my head. But I can always pull up the documentation because documentation is key. Documentation is key. So if I don't see anything that stands out right now, I am going to type. Oh, it might be type. I think it's type. Type, and then we're going to say TCR live stream, right? And let's leave it as that, right? And then we're going to say side dot get, and what I'll do, I'll just type in, I'll put in all the things that we're going to be typing in, and then the only thing is we're going to need a unique username, right? So we'll do is say TCR live stream, and then what we'll do here is a date, right? And we'll just get the code for time date, and we're going to put a timestamp of the date, and then side dot get. One thing that I'm not sure about is, do they have some type of validation? Like, can you use the same email over again, or is it the username that is the primary key? But we'll just do a simple TCR live at techcoachralph.dev. And then we'll just do a password, because the question is, right, in your code, in your testing, right, it's not just, so many QAs get so hung up on the fact that the requirements aren't as important as your common sense, as does this, like, and this is why that so many QA people feel undervalued, because you don't look to add value. I look to plug into every single area that I'm involved in, right? Whether I'm running scripts, whether I'm doing Terraform, whether I'm building Docker images, whether I'm pulling in Docker containers, whether I'm exploring tools, whether I'm updating frameworks, right? I like to plug into every little thing that I can get my hands on, to not only to gain more experience, but to add value, right? So here, I would be asking, like, if the requirement says, okay, the password criteria is this, right? I'm gonna say, okay, what happens if I put this type of password? Or what if I put that type of password, right? So many things, so many ways that QA can add value, but so many times you're just like, the requirements. Well, as a customer advocate, you need to have the best interests of the customer in mind all the time. So if you see that something is flawed in how the passwords are being handled, then you need to raise a flag about that, so that that risk can be assessed. It's not, oh, it's whatever the product owner says. No, you are the bridge. You're the liaison between the tech side, the engineering side, and the business, right? The product owners rely so heavily on the QA, because there's a lot of times the product owner is not very technical, and the QA is the person who can speak their language as well as speak the developer's language, right? And if you're a QA who doesn't feel like they're very technical, then that's a you problem. You need to level up, because if my tech barbarians come after your job and you're not ready, it's theirs, right? And that's what I'm training them to do. So, anyways, type of password. So let's go with a basic password of password 123, right? Does the system accept that? All right. So now let me start getting these selectors. And I guess I can show you me getting these selectors because you already know where they're going to go in the code. So let's go ahead and switch screens. All right, so full name. Let's see what Calc Coder did over here. Okay, good. We have a type of full name. But we have the name full name. So let's go with that. So that's good. We're gonna do in Selenium, I just do name, but we can do div, or not div, but input. And name equals full name. All right. So we have that one. I'm just gonna drop it in here. You don't need to see me doing that. And we're gonna go and get forum name. So we drop that in there. And a test that we can do as well is we can just run it exactly as we have, right? Because it should, like on one of these should be the the email or the forum username should be the primary key, and it should not allow us to use it more than once. All right. And we'll see which one we need to make amends to. All right. So now we go to email, and that's just email. Copy that. Paste it in there. And then the last one is password. So here we are with password. Copy that. Paste that. And we are here. Okay, so let's jump back over to our other screen. Oh, we need the register one too, right? We need to click register. So register, let's get that while we're there. Press do that one earlier. And here we go. We do not have a and here we would want some type of ID or test that ID, but we can still make do with it because if we do just type submit. So let's say we go here and we say guess it's still get, and we're gonna go with button. And here, and we're gonna say type equals submit. All right. There we have it. So this should work in Cypress, right? So let's jump over to Cypress. And let's see what's going on here. It's running. Let's get a drink while that's happening. So it looks like we were able to create the account. Okay, so there goes some password must contain at least one capital letter. So now here comes the part where QA adds some value, right? Because as a user, I do not want to, let's go to that section, right? Let's pull this up here. As a user, right? And as a QA engineer who's been doing this for over 15 years, I've been doing web development for the past 20 years, right? I do not like when I don't like when they ask me for a password or something, right? And then I put the password and then you tell me what the validation is, right? There should be something like to get like a little blurb, like in not in red, in white, that says, here are the criteria for the password. And then I can structure my password accordingly, because one of my biggest pet peeves, right? My biggest pet peeves when it comes to do registration forms is that I put in a password, right? And then he says, oh no, you need to have a capital letter. So I put a capital letter. Oh no, you also need to have an exclamation or a special character somewhere. So I put in a special character. Oh, you also need to have a number. And I'm like, I have to think about 3 or 4 different times of a password that's going to work that I'm not going to remember anyways, right? That is one of the reasons that I normally just register with Google. But, and I think that type of feedback can be very useful to your product manager, to your developers and everything like that, so that they can give it a better user experience, right? It's all about the user experience, because if the user doesn't like using your app, they're not coming back, you know? And I think that, like, if jumping on board with a with a startup like this is actually a startup, right? That's Calculus Coder's company. That's their application, a real live application that I always tell you guys that you need to build it off something that's real. Okay? So now I'm like, okay, and now in my interview, I'm like, oh yeah, and during like I was doing the QA for this company, for this startup called Free Mind Recovery, and I was doing QA of their registration form, and I recommended to them that they change the way that they display the password information, because it can be quite frustrating to users, right? Because if they don't put the password perfectly, then they're going to get message after message after message. And I said, you know what, we should list the as a customer advocate, we should be listing the password criteria up front, so that they can just get it right the first time, and then they don't have to keep, because that would frustrate them and make them not want to come back, right? So we need to address it that way, and then we alleviate a problem that the customers would have before it even happens, you know. And that is how you add value as a QA engineer, right? You have to be the customer advocate, and by being the customer advocate, you become the company advocate, because by you putting the customer first, you're putting the company's success first as well, you know. So we need to change this password. So let's just jump over here.
Lunch break.
And let's put a capital P. Right? And we probably should have created an account before we got started. Just so that we could like do it manually, but this is like pretty basic. So let's just jump back over here, and it's gonna be running, and then we're gonna go to break. Although when I do it this way, nothing ever happens. So let me just refresh. For some reason, the refresh works a lot better than than just doing the update. So it's gonna go ahead and put in the information in Cypress. And let's see what happens afterwards. Let me see. Is it done? Not sure if it did it or not. Well, we shall find out. Let's see, after. Don't see an error message, so that's good. All right, cool. So let's do this. Let's go to break real quick, right? And we will put our 5 minutes on the clock for our break. And let's check our score. Let's check what the poll is like, right? A lot of voting that's happening lately, and that's gonna be happening. So we have 4 votes now, and everyone says yes, you can put it you can put your QA and testing efforts for free mind recovery on your resume, or that I can put it on my resume. So cool. All right. Let me see. So I'm not sharing my thoughts yet, right? I'll let you know at the end of the show. But if you're liking the show, right, go ahead and do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time we go live. Like the video, share the video, check out the Patreon at www.techcoachralph.dev, or you can go to connect.techcoachralph.dev, because you can talk to me, on my neck, right? Just got it like yesterday or the day before, and it's a minute to connect. Do I have a minute to connect with you? I sure do, right? So go on Manek and search for my name, first name RALPH, last name GEHY, and we can chat, we can connect, all right? So let's do that. Check out, let me get the link for my Manek, and I'll put that in chat. And where can I get the link for my Manek? I can get it from, and we can share the screen for this, right? We can share the screen for this. So I can get it from connect.techcoachralph.dev. Oh, wrong one. There we go. I can get it here, and I say, okay, a minute to connect. Sure, right? So let me just, and let's take a look at Manek, right? So I click on it, and boom, and you can book me, and it says a little bit about me, and there goes the rates, right? There goes the rates. And we can do a video call, text answer, video answer, whatever you need. I got you, right? So there we go. And let me just put that in the chat. Let me go here. So if you want to have a little chat, or you want to have a written conversation, or you want a video response, hit me up on my neck and I got you. All right? Let's see where we're at now. All right, so let's go back to full screen. Okay. And I'll put that on the screen right there. Boom. Hit me up on Manek. So app.manek.com/expert/Ralph, last name GEHY. Okay. That's where you can find me. As well as on Patreon, www.techcoachralph.dev. So what do we got up next? All right. So yeah, so I mean, the theme tonight, right? The theme tonight is how there's a couple of themes, right? There's like how you can gain more experience even when you haven't had your first quote unquote job. But to me, you working on this application for this startup is a job, right? Am I getting paid for working on free mind recovery? Yeah, I am actually. I am. I'm getting paid a lot. How much? Wait a second. Wait 1 second.
Money.
How much is Calculus Coder paying you to automate his website? To do QA on his website, to provide all this amazing information? Huh? How much is he paying you? The experience? He's paying me an experience, right? Because the experience that I'm getting working for this startup, being able to guide the QA process, being able to work closely with the developer, being able to work on a team in a Kanban environment or in a Scrum environment, whatever we decide to do, that is like me being able to put that on my resume opens up so many doors for me.
Back to work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
It opens so many doors for me to be able to put that I'm working for a startup as a QA engineer. as the only QA engineer. You see what I'm saying? Do you see that? Do you see, like, how much is that payment worth to you? How much is that payment worth to you? I hope that makes sense, right? Payment is not only in the form of a monetary value, because gaining experience is also monetary in a different sense, right? Because it is going to open so many other doors. And the experience that I'm getting, I'm able to talk about so many different things. I'm able to talk about automation. I'm able to talk about QA strategies. I'm able to talk about XPath and CSS selection and say, oh, you know what? XPath, they work like I use them in Playwright and in Selenium, but I found out that it doesn't work in Cypress. And when I went to install, and then the package that they used to have for XPath and Cypress has been deprecated. So I had to get a little creative on my selectors, but I also told the developer that, hey, in the next release, we need to have some test data ID so we can optimize our automation so that we don't have flaky tests, because the last thing that we want is flaky tests, and then we can never trust our automation and our releases. You know, I know you want to go fast now, but we have to. If we want to go fast 6 months down the road, we need to start implementing clean tests now, right? And this is what you're articulating in your interview, like whether you're talking to the recruiter, the hiring manager, the team that you're going to that's interviewing you, or your technical interview, wherever it's happening, right? These are the things that you need to. These are the things that you need to do, because if you don't do them, you can never articulate it and express it when you're in these. They're going to ask you questions, and you're just going to be looking like a deer in headlights. And then you're going to wonder, why won't anybody take, I see so many posts. Why won't anybody take a chance on me? Why won't anybody take a chance on me? Nobody owes you anything. And that is the video that I saw from Jared from Calculus Coder about like 800 plus applications put in, right? No interviews or anything like that. But he went back to school, and he built he started his own startup, built an application that's actually valuable and helps people, solves a problem. And I think the school helped, but I think the startup was what that put him over the edge, right? So, anyways, let's get back to work. And Calculus Coder said, I agree, it's real world experience and it helps a lot. That's what I'm talking about, all right? That's what I'm talking about. So, let's do this. I appreciate you. Shout out to Eddie. Eddie, I appreciate you, Eddie. Welcome to the channel. Talk about perfect timing. I was right about to get back, but we have Eddie in the building. Thank you, Eddie. All right. Yeah, get so excited sometimes. All right. So, let's do this. Let's go to and let me see. We still have to do this in Cypress, or we still have to do this in Selenium and Playwright. So let's zoom through this. I'm making an executive decision. No more breaks. Breaks and vacations are canceled for the rest of the night. Yes, canceled. We're just going to finish this up tonight. We're going to get Cypress working. We're going to get Selenium working. We're going to get Playwright working. Who needs breaks, right? Let's do this, right? I'm gonna put the 20 minutes anyways, and then we're going to just work our way through it. No more breaks. Breaks are on hold. Executive decision. All right. So let's go.
Thank you for your patronage.
It's time to do.
Let's do it. All right. So I'm gonna do this on the site, right? Let's see if I put in TCR. Wait. TCR live stream. Oh, wait, let me switch screens. Let me close this for now. TCR live stream. What's that still doing up there? All right. That's okay, cool. All right, TCR live stream. And the username was TCR live stream date and email address. Let me see something real quick. All right, so I just was looking at some Discord interactions, and I got a comment that says, "I think you can put it on your resume, but most likely as a project, not as a QA engineer." Okay, cool. So I will I'll address that at the when I give my opinion. I will comment on that. All right. So, but thank you to my good friend A Duck under the porch. But yeah, so I'll keep that in mind, and we will address once we get to the end of the show. But we are, like I said, no breaks. We are going for it. Okay, going for gold. All right. Okay. So let's see here. Email address. We're gonna go with TCR live at techcoachralph.dev. And password 123. Okay, and we're gonna click on register. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we have this little successful. Please sign in. So I don't know if we got that for the other one, but what I'm gonna do, we are going to validate this alert. Let's see. Can I open up? Wait, so we're gonna say I'm familiar with it in Selenium, so let me see if I can Selenium get text from alert box. And let's see how to handle alerts and pop-ups in Selenium. How to capture text from an alert message. All right, so let's do this in Selenium real quick, and then we will port over the rest of the code. So we're gonna do. Here. So let's do. I'm on mute talking, but you saw what I was doing, so it's okay. So we have all the code here, and we're gonna say await alert dot accept, and that should take care of that. So now, let me see. So let's see how we in JavaScript. Selenium assert. How do you assert in JavaScript? I think it's it, maybe? I don't know. Okay, so up here we're gonna say var assert equals require assert. And we're gonna come down here. Or let's say let. Oh. Cannot redeclare a block scope variable. Okay, so it's already here, so we don't need that. So okay, let's say we get rid of assert then over here. Or if we do that maybe. Okay, cool. So let's say we go down here and we say assert and alert equals, is it equal, and I think I lost the text that it's supposed to be. It is, I lost it, but we'll get the text back. All right, anyways, so here we are, and what I'm going to do, let's get rid of that. What I'm going to do is, see, the thing is, I don't know if we got that in, I don't know if we got that in Cypress, right? Because I didn't see anything. And then on the site, after you create the account, it doesn't take you in automatically, right? It takes you to the login page. So what we could also do is, well, after you validate the that the alert box is there and it takes you to the sign-in box, you should make sure that you get the sign-in page, right? So what we can do is let's search for form, and then that, and we can do two. But being that we can't use that in Cypress, so we'll go with this right here. Should be one of one. All right. So now if we go back to our code, we should also say assert that driver dot find element by CSS is dot get dot text is equal to sign in, right? So I know I kind of jumped to the assertions for Selenium, but the reason that I did that is because I'm just gonna reuse the Cypress code, but I just wanted to capture the alert stuff, right? So now we'll say fill out form, And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go to the Cypress code this for the register, and I'm just gonna copy this. I'm not gonna use it. I just want to get the these selectors so I don't have to do it again, you know? So I'm gonna go here and I'm just gonna paste this in for now, right? And I'm going to say driver, and we're gonna change this get to find element. And then in here, we're gonna say by dot CSS. Leave that as that. We're gonna close this, and we're gonna say fill. Yeah, fill. Right. So that is what we're going to be changing. Right. I'm just gonna change that for all of them, and then we're gonna run. Because I'm sure it's gonna fail somewhere, but you know it is what it is. Driver. So driver dot find element, and then we're gonna do by CSS. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna close that out, and we're gonna say fill. All right. And go here, driver dot find element by, and once we that's not what we want. And once we start implementing this into our page object model and stuff, it's gonna be like all this crappy looking code is not gonna be there anymore. It's gonna be so much more cleaner that you will definitely appreciate it, how clean it is. Because right now I'm just getting us started, you know, just getting us started for today, that we can be in a good position, but it's going to be amazing. All right, let's close that one out, and we're gonna change that to fill. And no wonder this wasn't working, because in Cypress we had. I'm gonna go back and fix that real quick. Right, in Cypress I never clicked on get, or never chose to click. Oh. All right, let's fix that real quick. All right, let's do dot click. All right, so now if we go over to, while that's happening, I'm just gonna pull up Cypress real quick. And all right, let's keep fixing that. All right, so after we do that, we're gonna go and look at the Cypress run, because that should do it. And so here we're gonna do driver dot find element by CSS. Open that, click. I'm missing one. Boom, boom. Oh, let's find element. Duh. There you go. Find element, and then click. And let's close these out for good coding practices. All right, so here we go. It's taking so long. All right, so now here we are. So we have all this converted, and then it's gonna do, once it does the click, it's going to be waiting to. I don't know. It's just going on. I wonder if, okay, there we go. It's going. Okay, so I can see that. All right, so it's validating on the username, but so I saw it over here. So before we run, like I said, let's take a quick look at the Cypress one, right? So we're getting a 401 because the username already exists, so it's not allowing you to register, right? Trying to get it to show. So we are going to have to implement. We're going to have to implement using the, like, to create unique username, right? So that's why I have the date here. So we might be able to get away with the same email, but the username has to be different. I'm not sure if we're going to get to that tonight, but we are going to, at least we're going to get to our goal of getting the registration automated, even if we're not successfully logging in yet, because we just have to put some type of variable to create a unique username and password. So that's all good. But let's try to run it in Selenium. The question is, how do we run in Selenium again? Let's find out. Run. Node. Run Selenium in Node. Is that what we're trying to do? How to run tests in Node.js. So we're just gonna do. Let's do. I guess we can use the first one. Just want to know how to kick off the test. It's going to be npm run sample test. All right. So let's do so let's go over here. We're going to do npm run, and we're going to go to that Selenium test and then register test specs. All right, so let's run that, see what we get. Okay, that's not what we wanted to see. Missing scripts. Let's see. How did I do this last time? Nah, that's not a good resource. Let's go to this one. I'll be so annoyed if this is all right. npm I Selenium driver. Blah 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 blah. Got all that. Give it a whirl. Where do you do I just run this file? No. They don't say the command to actually run it though. All right. Gotta start writing some of this stuff down. Let's see this one. Maybe it's in here. I think it's in here. To run it. Driver. Got all the code. Got all that. Could I just do Node? Let's see what that does. Let's see. I just did Node and I did the. Okay, so it's just Node. All right, we got it. So register. So our goal on this one is to get an error message saying that the user is already registered. So it's loading. And it's like it feels like it's easier to write the test in it feels like it's easier to write the test in Cypress. So it's like there's pros and cons to everything, right? And that's why I'm going through the comparison like for our Wednesday shows, right? That's why I'm going through the comparison of the three tools, because those are the most popular automation tools that are out there, and I just want to see what the sentiment is and to show you like the breakdown and the comparison. So let's see. Fill. Okay, so fill is not a function. All right, so all my fills were a total disaster apparently. Let me find out what it is for Selenium. So let's go to the other window. And we're gonna do let me see, documentation. What is it for? WebDriver. Interactions maybe? Driver, let's see. Windows. Alerts, prompts, and confirmations. Work with cookies. No. See, browser navigation maybe? No, that's not it. That's that. Let me see. Elements? I think it's elements. And then interacting with web elements, form controls. Let's try that one. Click send keys. So let's see what the send keys are for. Well, that's not where I wanted to get to, but let's go back. So click send keys, JavaScript. It's just, oh, it's just send keys. Okay, my bad. It's similar to Java. Okay, yeah. So let's just go back over here and let's fix that real quick. So that should be pretty quick to fix. I'm gonna send keys. It's just there's no, see, that's, I don't know if it's a JavaScript thing, but at least in Java. I don't remember about Python, right? But at least in Java, it'll give me a bunch of predictions and stuff like that. But whatever. So let's just try running it again. Let's do that again. And do it again. Yep. Thanks, Calculus Coder. I was definitely muted. But at least you were able to see what I was doing, so that's a good thing. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like why the why it's not filling out. It's not finding the selector, which it should. But either way, after this run, we're gonna move it on to we're gonna move it on to Playwright, because at least we'll have the registration page automated, and then we can troubleshoot on the next stream. We can troubleshoot and log in on the next stream to see like why that's happening. But it's just part of the process, because let me see. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not locating it. So we'll troubleshoot that on the next stream. It should, like, because if I copy this, it'll find it. But not a big deal. We can troubleshoot that. But let's move it on to Playwright before we wrap up the night. So we have it automated in Cypress. We have it automated in Selenium. Although for some reason it's getting stuck over here, we'll figure that out on the next stream. And you know what? I could just use name as well. Let's do one quick thing. Bear with me while I do this, because I get very obsessed and OCD-ish, right? And I'm like, wait a second, there's one more thing we can try. One more thing. Last one. That doesn't either. No, this is like, what am I doing? Okay. One last chance. And if that doesn't work, then we'll leave that one as it is. If that doesn't work, then yeah, that's going to be on the next episode, like Dr. Dre said. Okay. And I'm just going to close some of these browsers down. Let's close that one. Let's do it this way. Close, and close. All right, let's run that one last time, because I am just curious to know why that's not working. But if that one doesn't work, then it is what it is. We're gonna move on to Playwright real quick. Let's try to do Playwright in the next 10 minutes. We already have the code, right? So let's try to get it done in the next 10 minutes so we can wrap it up and get out of here. And while that's going, let me check this message real quick, see what they're talking about. I'm trying to find the message. All right, so that apparently didn't work, but it is what it is. Let's just leave it as, let it be. Or yeah, I don't know. We'll have to troubleshoot that later. So let's jump into Playwright. All right, so Playwright, I'm just gonna copy this real quick over to Playwright. And we're gonna drop this right here. And we're going to we're just gonna change this to like that. Let's change it right here. Here. And here. And here, right? And I'm just gonna be looking at what I have up here, right? So we're gonna say locator, and we're gonna say delete that and that. And we're gonna say, I guess we can do name equals. And we're gonna go name equals. Oops. I wonder if I could do I wonder if I could make sure, try that real quick. We're gonna have to update the send keys as well because that's not gonna work in there. So this is, so let's see if at least Playwright is gonna get us past the finish line. So Cypress worked, Selenium not so much, but let's see if Playwright is gonna play fair with us tonight. Name equals, oops, close that. And let's do this one as CSS equals, get that there, and then now we need, is it fill for this one? Let's try that fill. Okay, there we go. So Playwright uses fill. That was easy. Oops, missed the L. And let's see. I think that's everything that we need, right? So fill. I'm gonna comment these out because we shouldn't need that in Playwright. All right, so we have all of this going. Oh, we did kind of, oh, we had it there so we can see what's happening. But so I'm gonna add this though to the end so we can have some time to see what's going on over here. So I'm gonna put 10 over here. And let's see. So we have Playwright. We need to, let's clear this out real quick. And I don't remember. I never remember these commands, right? So Playwright. Not dev. And we're gonna go to node docs. And to start off there, npx test. All right, so let's do npx playwright test. Right, run that till we get. I should have did it in headed mode, and it's gonna. Oh crap! It's gonna do it in all the browsers, but whatever. It's all good. Stuff is happening. No, all right. So let me, while that's running, let me find out the one for name and Playwright. And you know, one of the tough things about going through 3 different tools is that they have different syntaxes. So you have to constantly be looking at the documentation to see, all right, which one is which. You know, user can say, let me check this one. Oh, that was my test. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. The test finished. But I want to fix that name thing to find out what exactly the syntax is supposed to be for like finding it by name. Name, is that something? Oh, let me see. Locator, fill. So let's say we say locator. Get by. Let me see other locator. So I'm looking at over here. CSS locator, matching text. Oh, that's pretty. I wonder if this locator works in. Oh, pseudo CSS pseudo classes. That probably doesn't exist in That's so much better than what's the name of that other of Selenium to, like, if you can do pseudo text, because it is like it would be so much easier if you can just identify by a CSS selector. But it's all good. Input. Let me see if I have a name. Let me see. Playwright. Identify by element name. Maybe that answered the question. You can do locator. It has to be in brackets. Great. Okay, let me try that real quick. See, like I said, syntax. It's all about syntax. Oops, not that one. All right, let's throw that one in there because hopefully this will get it taken care of. And that can stay. Actually, I don't think that can stay. I think that has to be. I mean, even if that one failed, I wouldn't really care that much. But page locator. Oh, I don't even have to put CSS. It's gonna default to CSS. Let's do that. All right, cool. So let's just want to do it in. I just want to do it in one browser. So let's do headed mode. So let's do, oops, let's stop that from running. All right, so let's do this and do headed mode. And I want it to be -- project. I think it's Chromium, right? Let's do that. And cool, it's gonna run in Chromium. Gonna open up. Gonna go to free mind recovery. Account, register. And that should do it. Once it opens up that page. And the expectation would be that it's going to give you the error that the user already exists. But no. Why? The page never loaded? So let's go look at our results. The timeout of so it just took too long for the page to load. Or to find it at least. Oh, let me see. That should have worked. But let's do it like this, right? So we have the automation. So we need to do some troubleshooting, right? We will do the troubleshooting at the beginning of the next stream. So let me come on first. So this is a day in like QA engineering, right? What we're gonna do, we are going to on the next stream, we're going to troubleshoot this, make sure that we get them to work. TypeScript, JavaScript, all that nonsense. But we're gonna get them to work in all these browsers. So currently, Cypress is in the lead because that one was the easiest one to get it automated, to get it to create the account and everything like that. But having some locator issues in Playwright and Selenium, but we're gonna figure it out. Just some research, trying to do all three, not that easy to do, So we're gonna figure it out. All right, let's wrap up the show by getting to our poll question. All right, let me go ahead and end the poll, and let me see what the sentiment of the people was. So we said, let me go here. All right, so I'm gonna end the poll right now. Get your votes in. Right? End poll. So what do we got? We have 83% said that yes, you could put it on your resume. And 17%, one person said no, that you cannot. All right? So let me share my thought before we wrap up, right? I would absolutely put it on my resume as a QA engineer because what am I doing? I am doing QA engineering. It's not some personal project on my GitHub, right? I'm communicating with the developer. I'm giving feedback. I'm reporting bugs. I'm writing automation tests, right? And when the automation test gets put into GitHub, get pulled in, and gets put part of the code base to have regression tests to run when like before deployment, why diminish yourself and the work that you're doing, the valuable work that you're doing on a valuable software? Why say that it's just a project, right? It's work. Is Free Mind Recovery a startup? Yes or no? From my understanding, it definitely is. So if it's a startup that's in business, that is generating, gaining real users, generating income, right? Regardless of how much income might be, why would I say that I'm not a QA engineer for that project or for that company, for that website? Especially if I'm in direct communication saying, hey, calculus coder, I am let's work together. I want you need testing on your website, right? Can I need some experience. Let's work together and now I'm doing testing on your application. You're getting value and I'm getting value. Why is that not considered a QA engineer or QA tester, whatever title you want it to be? Why isn't that considered that? Aren't you following the software development lifecycle? So for me, I would absolutely put it on my resume as working for Free Mind Recovery, right? That I would. I'm doing work, aren't I? That work is being used by other people. The customers are benefiting from it. The developer and the owner and CEO of Free Mind Recovery is benefiting from it. Why would I just put it as a project where no one really looks at the projects anyways? Right? So that is my perspective. That is my feedback on that's what I would do. And that's how I go out there and I build my own experience. Not by, randomly doing projects, because the projects are to help you learn, right? And if somebody asks about it, you can definitely talk about it. But why talk about a project when you can actually talk about real experience? Right? Do I need a W-2 to be working on it? Like when on my own company, like not the company that I work for, but my own company, right? All the work that I do in organizing, like the agile methodologies that I use, right? Is that not work experience for me? So that's my thoughts about it, right? But let me know what you think, right? Either comment, chat, if you have me on Discord, write me on Discord, whatever the case may be, right? Let me know. I am curious to hear your thoughts about is this real work for you, or is it just like some other project? While the person, right, like while Calculus Coder is benefiting from the work that I'm doing, I don't see that as work. I just see it, oh, it's just another project. I don't think so. But like I said at the start of the show, value your time. If for me this is not experience, then it's not worth doing it, right? Because that is what holds so many people back from actually landing that position, is the experience. And if you see that, oh, it's just another project, right? I don't think so. I think if this thing is in the public domain, it's not a project. If it's just hidden in your GitHub, where like, oh, I took this Python class and I built some little project for the Python class that I just followed like the instructions and I have it there, then that's a project, right? But if you have people, so what if this, right? Is this a project or is this a application, right? You take a Python class, you learn how to do games and stuff, right? So you build games, and now you put it out there for people to use, and now you're getting users, you're getting traffic, and it's growing and growing and growing, right? Is that a project or is that an application? See, for me, the difference between the two is that the application, there's real live users from wherever. You don't like, it's not like your mom or your cousin or your sister who's using your like the little thing that you did but nobody knows it. But it has real life users that can actually give feedback, and that there's impact on it, and there might even be economic impact on it too. So is that a project or is that an application? We need to start defining that, right? We start defining that. All right, so let's wrap it up. Let me read what the comments were quick. Thank you so much for letting me know that I was muted, Calculus Coder. Sometimes I just get off on a tangent. I'm like, oh crap, I'm muted. All right. But so thank you for catching that really quickly. But I'm happy that I was still sharing the screen. You can see what I was doing. And lastly, Calculus Coder said, agreed. A lot of companies I interviewed with see it as real experience at a startup. Valuable insights, bro. Thank you so much. And that's why I really, really appreciate your video. And I was like, oh, I got to talk about this video. And I appreciate you being here, sharing your insight that you interview, like from interviewing from. And if you haven't checked out his video, go check it out, right? 800 plus applications, no, like barely any contact, barely any interviews and everything like that. Went back to school, created his startup, created his application, and now he's on his way, right? And that's why it's like, if you put something out there in the world, right? And let people have at it, right? If you keep it to yourself, that's a project. If you throw it out to the world and say, tear me apart, that's an application. That's a business. All right. So that being said, I have one last question for you before we wrap it up. Well, before we do that, right? If you like the video, if you like the stream, right? If you found it helpful and informative, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you can know when we go live. Like the video, share the video. Check out the Patreon at www.techcoachralph.dev and connect with me at connect.techcoachralph.dev as well. And you have all the ways you can get in contact with me on my social media, my Manek, my website, my Patreon, all that. It's on there, connect.techcoachralph.dev. Just created it yesterday. Let me know your thoughts about it as well. You know, leave me a comment, whatever. And just however you can get in contact with me, please do. All right. So my question to you, as I always like to do at the end of the stream.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you were here?
Because.
I mean, you know, all we do is win. I know that.
Well, Khalid, that didn't work out too well. But like I told you guys, right? Thanks for tuning in. But
one more thing. Price of the brick going up.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts. Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again. Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Hear me, warriors of the North. Today we have tasted the sweet nectar of victory. Our foes indeed defeated, and their lands are now bowed before us. The gods themselves have favored our glorious deeds on this glorious day. We have shed blood, sweat, and tears to claim this land. Our relentless spirit, our unyielding determination. These are the very essence of our people. It's been our ancestors rejoice in the halls of Valhalla. For today, we have added to their eternal glory. Our victories will echo throughout the ages, and our names will be etched in the annals of history. But let us not forget the present pain, the brothers and sisters we lost. They now feast in the hall of our forefathers, watching over us with pride. Their sacrifice has paved the way for this moment of triumph. As we celebrate this conquest, let us also remember that our journey is far from over. More land awaits our conquest, more battles call us forth, and the fire in our hearts burn ever brighter, for there is no limit to what we can achieve. To those who dare stand against us, let them tremble in fear, for they shall witness the fury of the northern storm, the wrath of the untamed barbarians. Today we celebrate our victory. Tomorrow, we set our sights on new horizons, uncharted land where our banners will fly high. We are Vikings, we're barbarians, we are masters of conquest.